Hey, travelers. Not as sunny this week.
Thank goodness.
At least not yet.
We got some bugs, though.
Yeah, we got some bugs. And that's a little cooler.
That's what happens when you roll the dice outside.
Yeah, I wonder if it was... We had some tornado stuff going on last night. I wonder if it was that.
I didn't care. I slept.
That's good. Good for you. I did what every other Midwesterner does. Go outside and look for it.
Yeah, so I did that initially, so I was like, go look for it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to do?
I did. Yeah.
Well,
we found it.
That damn siren goes off for 25 minutes.
I know it.
You're all like, I can't hear if it's coming if the siren's going off. I have survived numerous tornadoes that have just barely missed my family farm and took out the neighbor's farm.
Yeah.
In my childhood, there was a distinct sound to that shit.
You bet.
And I'm like, you got to turn off the siren so we can hear. The siren's ruining everything.
It is.
Ugh.
We didn't hear that sound here. We heard the siren, but...
Yeah. No, I didn't hear the sound, yeah.
Yeah.
If I heard it, I'd been like, well, basement time.
Thank goodness.
Man, my basement's terrible. I mean, I got beer down there, but...
Well, that's really all you need.
Let's see. Troy went to the basement. He got into the Goose Island, Bourbon County.
He's not coming up for a while.
He's going to be down there for a spell. He made a nest.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Beer time. And we've got beer this week that I'm not typically fond of.
IPAs.
We figured it was about time that we did an IPA episode. So this one is called Fashion Mullet. It's from Lupulin.
Well, first of all, you know, sometimes we do these IPA episodes, which I think are really relevant, if nothing else, because 40% of all craft beer sold is like an IPA. It has been and it continues to be the most dominant category inside craft beer, the IPA category. So I think we do that for you guys.
And why do you think that is, Troy?
I don't know.
No? Still haven't figured that one out, huh?
I
since we got into this whole business 6 years ago, I've been trying to figure out what drives people to drink IPAs.
Nothing but.
I still haven't figured it out.
I mean, in order to figure that out, like, my wife only drinks IPAs, and I can't figure her out, and I've been married to her for 10 years.
Oh, there you go.
So I think it's a question.
One of the world's greatest mysteries.
We will never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah. So this is the Fashion Mullet, like Landon said. The can's kind of fun if you look at it, because his goatee is their logo.
Yeah.
Which is just clever design. So I actually looked this one up. The whole idea, it's supposed to be a blend between a West Coast and an East Coast, and they're using the hops, the Citra hops of the East, and I believe it's Simcoe of the West. I was on the website I read, so that can will give you nothing.
Yeah, you're right. The can will give me absolutely nothing, other than the fact that it's brewed by Lupulin.
Yeah, and I think it was Simcoe or Centennial or Chinook, which are all very West Coasty hops. They all start with a C. My memory isn't that good, despite the fact reading it 5 minutes ago. But
you tried.
Yeah, I tried, guys.
Good job.
I really did. But so we'll give her a shot here. Lupulin, though, ultimately, Lupulin's a fantastic IPA brewery. I don't think I've ever had a bad IPA from those guys.
You get a little of that...
Is it business up front, citrus, and party in the back?
Yeah, well, if business by the piney nose and then that hop flavor that really climbs into your nose through your sinuses... I think ultimately that's what I don't like about some. Yes, it's very pungent.
Piercing, pungent.
Like and by party in the back, if he means it levels off, then yes.
Yeah, you are correct. The finish on this is surprisingly clean, but while you're sipping it, it is a really unique balance between both citrus and pine.
Yeah,
which tend to be the competing flavors in a lot of IPAs currently. You know, pine, obviously, and those aggressive bitter flavors have been so dominant. And then also you had, like, the citrus IPAs come out, and now we're in this hybrid world, which...
I suppose you got to do something different, right?
Yeah, I will give Lupulin this. They have delivered on what they promised. It is a mullet of a beer.
It is a mullet of a beer. Yeah.
Very drinkable, though. I think it has, like, what, 7% alcohol?
Is it that much? Yeah, they're actually ones at 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
Lupulin doesn't shy away from alcohol in their beers.
I admire that. Yeah.
Especially in days like today when no one ever leaves their houses or goes anywhere.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. It's those high ABV beers that have somewhat gotten me through this.
Yeah.
And we're not even over yet. So
I'd like to say we're
keep 'em
halfway
coming.
through, but that's a guess.
I don't know. That's a guess at best. We could be a quarter of the way through, or not even that much.
Oh, child, you're only an eighth. Oh.
Yeah. Which is why we're not going to do an NA beer episode anytime soon.
I was literally been drinking a lot of NA beers lately, too.
Have you?
Yeah. There's a new brewery in the city. It's called the Hairless Dog, and I've been experimenting with a lot of their beers.
Yeah.
I have their NA Black Ale currently.
How's that?
It tastes like an NA Black Ale.
Okay.
Slightly. All NA beers, and not just them. Those guys are doing a great job. Keep it up, Hairless Dog. All NA beers have that unattenuated flavor, and unattenuated usually means in a beer like there's some residual, like you didn't fully ferment it or you fermented too hot and you still have some residual sugars, which makes sense for an NA beer to have that because there's nothing
it's not converting anything into alcohol. Yeah,
it's just like hanging out and it's like
I'm here.
Yeah, it's like making dip for a party that never happens.
I'll be dang.
Yeah.
So you just convinced me to not do another NA beer episode for a while. So thank you.
And sold.
You didn't have to sell it so hard, but you did it.
Well, that's actually quite a good IPA, though.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit. This is like a good IPA you could bring to someone just to try to identify what they dislike about IPAs if they don't like them. Because like IPAs isn't necessarily the jumping off spot for a lot of craft beer drinkers.
And I think that's something a lot of people need to figure out when they start drinking craft beer, other than just the old.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a dark beer, and I don't like dark beers.
Back in 2008, when I started drinking craft beer, I did not like IPAs, and I remember having some really aggressive ones at the time. And by today's standards, they're calm and mild,
right?
But aggressive for the time. And
I won't lie to you, a good English IPA.
Oh yeah, I lived in London, so that's where I
did not live in London, but thankfully you introduced me to English style beers, and those are some of my favorites. So
you know me.
Yeah.
Does this beer taste like it's got dirt in it? A little bit of
earthy.
Little bit of dust. Maybe.
Little mulch.
It's like maybe the can had some dust in it. And they're like, don't wash it out. Leave it in there.
Some good stuff.
That's what I like.
Yep. Maybe that's why I like Scotch so much.
Yeah, Scotch is like we ran this whiskey through a bonfire.
If anybody has a Lagavulin bottle they want to get rid of.
Lagavulin. That used to be my anniversary beer Scotch. Every anniversary I had to get a dram of the Lagavulin just
nice.
And then you're like, well, then you get the check and you're like, I didn't realize that was $21.
That's a lot of money.
Anniversary.
You spent you almost bought a quarter of the bottle.
Yeah. Restaurant prices.
Yeah. Woo.
Moving
on. Another IPA. Because it's the IPA episode. And my palate's not completely destroyed yet. Looks like another. It's not quite hazy.
This one's another East Coast one. This one's from New Hampshire. You'd have to double check the name. I think Portsmouth it said, and it's from Loaded Question Brewing, which is an interesting name for a brewery. If I have to be honest.
I don't see a.
So I must have found it on the can somewhere because I definitely didn't look this beer up.
I did. I like the name, Sparkletoes.
Sparkletoes. No one's ever said that about me.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, Portsmouth. There it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
So I got this once again from the East. It's a New Hampshire beer that's not available in Wisconsin. We're going to go into this guy blind. We know nothing about the brewery, nothing about the beer. We're just going to try it and give them our impressions, and hopefully it's worthy of Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
It's got a very fruity nose on it.
It smells like an IPA.
Yeah.
If you how somebody's like, oh, this smells like people always like to give like oh, this smells like citrus or this smells like orange. This smells like IPA.
It does smell like IPA. First taste, obviously an IPA, not heavy, not real pungent.
I am by no means an expert on East Coast breweries, by no means.
Yep.
But I have drank every time I meet up with my in-laws, they always have a pile of East Coast beers. And they all roughly taste like this.
Really?
They all have like a very light waterish body, which is not bad. A very gentle body.
Yeah.
Might be a more couth way to say it.
It's got a very light, is that passion fruit?
That must be the water or something out there, because you can't make these flavors in a Wisconsin beer. Wisconsin IPAs are very different.
Yeah. What is this supposed to have in it?
I'm saying some mosaic.
Notes of citrus, pineapple, and passion fruit. And it has a big I wouldn't say it has a big tropical fruit nose, but maybe for people out east, they
I feel like when I'm digging through my in-laws' coolers and crushing beers, never get together. Every IPA almost tastes exactly like this that I pull out of that cooler.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. That's weird.
I
don't know what that is. I don't know why.
It's slightly fruity.
Fruity with a gentle body.
Yeah, but the aftertaste is very
resiny.
Yeah, it's very resiny.
There's a lot of resin on the aftertaste.
Yeah, it lingers. As the cranberries would say, it lingers.
I don't know what that means.
I can't believe you don't know the Cranberries.
They're
My
a
God.
band. I couldn't name a song of theirs.
Linger.
Oh.
One of them. Yeah. Zombie was the other one. I mean, that was the big
I'll
one.
have to listen to the Cranberries on my way home
you
and then be
definitely will.
mildly confused about everything they do. That's usually
That's
how I
fine.
try. Just envision whenever I listen to music, just me going like, I don't understand what you're doing.
Rest in peace, Dolores O'Riordan. Gone too soon.
I did watch that musical Hamilton the other day. That made me happy. Because I'm like, oh, I understand this. You're singing about America. I understand America.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I got 5 minutes in and I left.
You also don't have a wife that's obsessed with musical theater.
Oh no, everybody else in the house watched it.
But they're singing about America.
Yeah, it doesn't really grab me, I guess.
Yeah, this is it's a perfectly acceptable IPA, I would say. This one's like what, 7% alcohol, if memory serves me correctly. I think everything's 7% alcohol.
The writing is so 7.4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely get a little boozy on the finish.
A little bit. Nothing that I would gravitate towards as far as booziness.
Yeah.
The booziness I like is whiskey.
Yeah. I would also, in like full disclosure, when it comes to beer flavors, nothing turns me off personally, and this is just a personal thing, than boozy flavors. If I want boozy flavors, I'll just drink whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want my beer to me, beer should not have a boozy flavor. And unless you're going like Scotch ale or like a wee heavy.
Yeah, something that was
specifically designed to have that, and then I can anticipate that.
Right.
As opposed to outside of like very specific beers, I don't care for boozy flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I certainly don't like them in IPAs.
Most certainly do not. IPA should be refreshing or piney or fruity.
Right.
Or,
so
it's a perfectly fine beer, though. Hey guys, they made a beer.
They
and
made
it's
a
pretty
beer.
Good. If you drink enough of them, you will be intoxicated.
Sparkletoes.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on because I need to get that taste out of my mouth.
The aftertaste is not my favorite.
No, it's not mine either.
Loaded question. I have a lot of questions for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll go out to New Hampshire someday. I don't know.
Wow. You know how many breweries are between here and New Hampshire?
A lot.
You know the odds of us making
Do you know how many we haven't even covered in the Midwest yet? So many.
I'm already exhausted
Just
/
so many.
have anxiety thinking about it.
I know.
You know how many breweries, I can name like 15 breweries between here and there that we would probably get stuck at. We wouldn't even get to Ohio.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Ohio.
I want to go to the Angry Czech in Indiana. We foregoed the Angry Czech when we went to Cricket U, and that was a mistake because I went there post that shoot and had the best brunch of my life.
Well, we'll go back.
Their brunch buffet was perfect.
We'll go back.
It was perfect.
I have no issue with going back.
Angry Czech.
Angry Czech. Anyway, let's go on to
Isn't your
another.
last name Czech?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's black, right?
Yeah, it means black.
Surname means black
Very
in
good.
Czech. Yeah.
Very good. We're gonna go on to another one of our favorites, and I know we've had
plenty of dangerous.
Probably more than half a dozen the last half a dozen episodes. Dangerous Man.
Go easy on us, folks.
We bought a lot of it because it's damn good.
Dangerous Man is painfully good.
But it does fit the theme. So this is a pineapple passion fruit popsicle IPA.
I like to call them IPAs. Do you think they'll
IPAs?
catch on?
Yeah. I doubt it.
My dad always made me go to the Hippodome.
The Hippodome?
In at the Minnesota State Fair, because that was my dad's every year's birthday present was a Hippodome visit. If for you uneducated folks who don't know what a Hippodome is, it's where horse events happen. My dad likes horses, so my weekends were consumed with watching horses. It's as boring as it sounds.
Before we get into the beer, you'll probably notice that the last few times that we've had any Minnesota beer really out of a crowler, they're gold. The can is gold.
I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's something with their supplier. They must have had to switch suppliers in Minnesota because Minnesota has some really ridiculous beer laws.
They do.
And they're allowed a certain amount of ounces in a crowler.
I feel like Minnesota and Wisconsin in many ways are twins. Like,
yeah.
They're very similar states. They have very similar demographics, except one is like really responsible and the other one's like, nah.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We live on that we don't care side.
Except as far as the beer laws go, it's not more of a care thing. It's more of a ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wisconsin has no beer laws, essentially.
Yeah.
We are like, do you like drinking? And you're like, well, yes, I do.
Well, come on in. We like it. Anyway.
There's a guy at the border passing out shots.
Yeah.
I can't prove that.
Yeah. There's only one supplier that makes that size of crowler. So
really?
For some, yeah.
Well, that's
and Minnesota's the only state that uses that size.
I know there was a shortage on tin, or aluminum, not tin, aluminum.
Aluminum.
So it might be a different material.
Could be. I don't know.
I kind of like the golden can.
I like the gold.
Yeah, I'm actually not against the golden can. It's got like an Italian mom vibe to it.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a lot of Italians, let alone mobs, in Minnesota these days. But you never know.
There's at least 6.
Yeah. So I'm not getting a lot on the nose of this guy.
I'm getting sweet and pineapple.
And then the taste is, whoo. A sour and an IPA mixed.
Wow, there's a lot to that. Like I feel like every Dangerous Man beer we drink, my analysis starts exactly the same. There's a lot to dissect there.
There's a lot going on in that one.
Pineapple passion.
So it's like a sour pineapple-y, a real like subtle IPA finish.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I had to blind taste this, I don't know if I would guess IPA in a blind tasting.
No, I think this is more of a Valkyrie. This doesn't fit into a category type beer. For those of you that know Valkyrie, you'll get that joke, but
because it's simultaneously sweet, sour, fruity, citrusy, undertone of hops.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there. The popsicle thing I get after a while. It kind of all just rounds out.
This would probably make a pretty good popsicle if you could freeze it.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could freeze it. I just don't know that you'd like the end result.
Might be even weirder.
Wow.
This is 7.8% alcohol too, so.
Wow, we picked 3 fine beers for
a cloudy afternoon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know, folks.
I like it. But boy, is there a lot to unpack.
This is, I would say, is a very tasty beer that you'd want to share.
Yeah.
You know, because like if you're just pounding beers, get an amber ale.
It's not a poundable beer by any stretch of the imagination.
This is like the fun beer you could share with a bunch of beer nerd friends and just like fuss over it for a minute or two.
Yeah. I agree.
You kind of need those. You ever have an evening? When you have a party at your house, you have like the fuss over beers, and then you have the pounders. You know, you gotta have both.
I like it though, and you know the great thing, and I
still very drinkable though.
Yeah, it's very drinkable. I don't know that we've gone over this, and we're running out of time. But if you ever make it over to Minneapolis and you go to Dangerous Man and you go into the Crowler shop, now they're filling growlers again too.
Oh, nice.
Not your own, but clean ones. They have something different almost every time that I've visited.
See, I'd rather pay the $5 deposit for a growler and get a clean one every time.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't know.
And me, I just buy $80 worth of crowlers, and by me, I mean my wife. So it was the royal we. So anyway, another crazy beer, but crazy good. Rob is doing some great stuff over at Dangerous Man, and honestly, Lupulin and Loaded Question. Loaded Question's probably.
I feel like a loaded question is a reference to a woman. I feel like every time a woman asks you a question, I'm like, that's loaded.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, if you want, YouTube. And that's going to be that's it for this week.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click down below where there's some more episodes for you to watch. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on episodes that you do watch. We hope to see you next time.